Pop it again for Jim. And now with that, because you are equipped properly, I'd like to hand the microphone to our representative, Marlynn, Mahaolo. Thank you.
Mazie Hirono to this workshop because the information that everyone is here presenting is important to all of us. It affects every one of us in the community. So basically, I just want to give a general overview of what our program is like. Everyone knows Mahaolo is a senior housing facility. We're nonprofit. But under our program, under our company, we have different programs. And one of the programs is our Homeownership and Counselor program. And it's been around since 1987. And we've been doing a lot of home buyers and classes to help first-time home buyers purchase their first homes. We've done a lot of reverse mortgage counseling to help seniors use some of their equity that we have in their own home. And now there's been a big demand for our mortgage default counseling. And all of our services that we provide are free. So I'd like to describe, we have 2 counselors in our program. One of our counselors is Terry Connie, and she is the Los Angeles office, and I'm in Washington Terrace, which is Mahaolo. So we are ahead of proof. We're ahead of proof, and these are some of the services that we provide: mortgage delinquency, default resolution counseling, home buyers ed classes. We also do predatory lending, exchange and workshops, pre-purchase and post-purchase counseling and workshops, financial management and budget counseling for those that want to clean up their credit scores. And we also do fair housing assistance. So today we're just going to briefly touch upon some of these ideas of what foreclosure prevention is all about, and how can you determine if you're possibly getting into a situation where you find yourself at risk of losing your life. So you ask yourself these questions. Are you living from paycheck to paycheck? Do you find that your financial situation has changed, either due to reduced hours, a lost job, unexpected medical expenses, possibly a divorce, or a death of a spouse? Are you maxed out on your credit card? Do you have large car payments? There's a car payment. It's almost like having another mortgage and you have to pay everything. So what we want to do is just kind of have you sit down and look at all of your finances to determine if there is if you're coming for housing counseling early on, do you have more options now by looking at some similar items that you can take care of with your budget? So what can you do to avoid foreclosure? Basically, don't ignore the problem. I have people coming in to see me, they bring in all their mail from the service provider vendors, and we haven't opened them. So what you want to do is open up the envelope. Look to see what they're saying to you. What are they asking you to do? What are their options? You want to become proactive. You don't want to fall behind in your mortgage. Because if your mortgage payment is $1,500 this month, and you decide not to make payment this month for some unexpected expenses that came up, next month it will be $3,000. So you have to pay. You want to let your servicer, your lender know that this month you're having issues, and that maybe this is the time to start looking at options and seeing what they can offer you. Communication is key to talking to your lender. Remember, they don't want your house. All they have on money that you borrow. Usually, one of the first letters that the servicer or lender will send you is a notice called a HUD-approved household counseling agency. So you pick up the phone, give the counseling agency a call just to find out what your situation is and what can be done to help you. There are foreclosure options available to you. It's just that it's not always written down in those letters. Sometimes the letters will let you know of any pending legal action. So it's important to know because if a foreclosure case is coming up, you want to make sure that you have time to set up the necessary appointments to postpone that date. You should also know your mortgage rights. Review your loan documents. This will let you know what actions your lender can take against you. So, and you should understand the foreclosure law. So by seeing a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, you can learn the laws, learn of your options, on which action to take. Understand your finances, and we can work together to find a solution. One of the ways of finding a solution is doing what we call a budget. A lot of people don't like to do budget, so we call it a spending plan. Basically, what it is you look at all the income coming into the household and writing it down, and then determining, writing down also your expenses as to where is all your money going. After you subtract all your expenses from the income, do you have any money left over at the end of the month? If you do, what do you do with the money? So we sit down and we discuss this. We put it in savings, we pay some other bills, we go out and have a happy dinner. It's basically what options you have that can either help you. It's basically prioritizing your needs. Another option would possibly be to sell an asset to help you with your mortgage. So, can you reinstate the loan if the loan amount is not that big? You have an asset that you could possibly sell to bring you current. Can you possibly look for another job? By doing these little steps, you're letting your lender know that you are serious in saving their money. You should be aware of foreclosure prevention scams. Many of these for-profit companies charge you a hefty fee. And many times I see people coming in and they say they spend about $5,000 trying to use all loan applications. Well, if you think about it, spending that $5,000 could have been used to pay the mortgage. And it would have possibly gotten current at that point. So think about these things and be aware of the scams. Beware of companies that think they can stop your foreclosure immediately, or that you sign over the property title to them authorizing them on your behalf. So just be aware that there are companies out there. We know that when people have, it's a very emotional situation that everyone is in when they're facing foreclosure. So don't let them take advantage of you that way. Please call 100,000 agency. But basically, some of the options when we sit down with someone is determining whether if you want to stay in your loan, can you refinance your loan? Can you do a forbearance where you suspend some of the payments for a certain amount of time? Or can you reinstate the loan if you have a lump sum of money coming in and you just pay off your loan to bring you current? Can you do a repayment plan, combining a portion of the taxable amount plus your monthly mortgage payment? Or can you maybe you can do not possible to save the home from foreclosure. So what are your options there? We have to sit down and look at all of that. Is it possible that you might want to do a short sale? Or a short sale is where you take an arrangement with the lender to sell the house for less than what you owe the mortgage. A deed in lieu is when you turn the property ownership back to the lender. So these are options that we look at. Sometimes, generally when we do a loan modification, we sit down with the homeowner and ask them to bring in a lot of documentation. I guess a lot of you have already tried some of that when you're doing the call center and you're asking you to pass the documentation. So we usually set a meeting, ask you to bring in documentation, and then we ask to see if there is any time constraint. If you have a foreclosure date that's coming up, if you do, then the counselor can sit down and talk about postponing that, but we do need time to do that. So it's important that you know of these time constraints. We sit down, we create a budget, and from there we try to see if it's feasible. If we have enough income, are there expenses small enough that we can somehow trim your budget to bring the debt expenses down to what the lender would be okay with and to do a loan modification. Then we also ask you if there's funds at the end of the month. Can you save some of those monies to help possibly bring some of their rear current when you do a loan modification? Some lenders ask for some funds up front. Let's see. We start the paperwork and we update our clients as to what the situation is on the loan modification. So basically, we talk to the servicer directly, and usually it's on a one-on-one. Whereas if you were to do a loan modification, generally we call the call center, so we have 10 to 15 different people giving the same story over and over and over. It doesn't seem like nobody's listening to us. So we were able to make it so that we're talking to the servicer directly, and we have a relationship with one person on the case. These are some of the documents that we're going to ask you to bring in. One is a hardship letter. Basically, we want to know, and the lender wants to know, the reasons why you fell behind in the market, and how do you plan on overcoming some of that debt. We're also going to need 2 pay stubs, the bank statements, and if you're self-employed, a profit and loss statement. 2 years of signed tax returns. I know it sounds like a lot of information, but this is how the lender determines whether you qualify for a modification or not. We also ask for Social Security award letters, copy of your driver's license, and your utility bills. Now, some of these documentations will expire, so after a few months, if you haven't gotten your loan approved, they're going to ask you to do it again. Submit your pay stub, submit your bank statement. But you just want to comply because you want to get towards that goal of getting loan modification. So in summary, you want to be proactive, communicate with the lender, be aware of scams, review your spending habits, and seek a housing counseling agency that can help you through all this. Thank you. Are there any questions? No questions? Thank you.